Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. There is a developing story that I want us to look at. Of course, we will follow this, how it is going to pan out. Reports that we've received, and I got that information just some few minutes ago, that David Murathe, the former Jubilee vice chair, uh, I think it was the Jubilee chairman, and Cyrus Jirongo, who vied for gubernatorial seat in Kakamega, have actually been summoned by EACC and are supposed to appear before EACC any moment today, the 3rd of November. And that information has come out, even though what I have seen is before that arrest, I think they sent the summon to them, and after setting the summon, it could be that the David Murathe and Jirongo communication team of the secretariat are the ones that have informed the media of the pending of those summons in relation to before they actually head. Today is Thursday. And of course, we need to see one thing. There are some few observations that we're going to make. They have not yet explained. They want them to go and write a statement, but the ESCC have not come out to explain what exactly maybe is the case at hand that they want the two to go and record a statement. It's a very unique development, because in the past we have seen Murathe going to, the last time he was visiting EACC, it was during that trending KEMSA scandal, and he wrote a statement, even though we realized that that case never went beyond those statements. Jirongo, the story was about his bankruptcy, but of course there were also some corruption allegations here and there that were being thrown on his way. So we are looking at this at a very critical time. And one of the things I am actually making here is this, that President William Ruto must fight corruption. And fighting corruption is in good motive. And in fact, it's for the good intention. However, the things that if you make now, you must show the intention. And what is actually neutralizing and not showing the seriousness to fight corruption is what can be seen as double standard. There was a constable who came out and said that he was framed. He was forced by Kinoti to frame Gachagwa's corruption allegations in the previous regime. And after he went, actually he told the court, the cases are almost collapsing. And after he told the court, he was promoted later on. And I've also seen Miguna Miguna coming out publicly to say that those who committed heinous acts during Uhuru Kenyatta's regime are being promoted, even though these are people that should be charged in the court of law. So if this is, and of course any other aspect is still now speculative, because we'll be back here with the full analysis on what exactly they are being charged on their charge sheet, rather their statements. What we are also seeing is a bit of that double standard, and there is something I want to say, that Ruto would be making a very good decision to revisit the files, and his lawyers, his close ally Abdul Nasir, have been on record saying that there are people that became billionaires during Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, and when you go after them, that's when you're going to recover what was lost, and maybe what was lost in the past, and that could boost this economy. I think it is just another pitch that is being put there. So when you go for people like Murathe and Jirongo, the perception that it comes that you are revisiting. Murathe was the face of Uhuru Kenyatta. Murathe was the face of Uhuru Kenyatta, regime. In fact, when the former now current president, when Ruto was a deputy president, he was on record saying that some of the people that folded Jubilee Party and chased him from Jubilee Party were actually David Murathe. David Murathe will speak on behalf of former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So when you see David Murathe getting summoned, you need to look at it deeper. That is it possible, and these are some of the questions, is it a possibility that William Ruto is revisiting Uhuru Kenyatta? Is Uhuru Kenyatta the person is on the dock, or it's about David Murathe? And now, what is the perception of people when you seem to go after them? It's not a problem that they're not immune. They're not immune. They don't have immunity over the law. But the kind of violence that have been put in it shows that you want to communicate something. You may be going after the big fish, going after the big fish to make sure that they get things right. But remember, there have been a trend where people who were in campaign train with William Ruto, all of them, their allegations were politically instigated, and they have been painted as people who are clean, but because of their political stand, things were not right. Now, the people who are on the other side, who are not now in government, their cases are going on. Nani is in court. Yesterday, Amos Kimunya was in court. Charity Ngilu is having a case in Mombasa, a land case around the airport, and it seems it's not going on her favor. And now Jirongo and Murathe is also heading to EACC to write a statement. What exactly do you think? Because it doesn't show really well. I think if Ruto wants Kenyans to take the goodwill, then let it be. Don't drop these cases. Let Gachagua face the music. Hata kama ita take some few, wacha kesi iendelee, then judgment ifike, alafu maybe I win the case. That will take even some time. But instead of dropping cases, when you drop cases na hizo zingine zinaendelea, it doesn't really show the good position of the government. Now, number two, has William Ruto fallen into the trap of people who want to make him happy? During Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, there was at one point where Kinoti went to Eldoret and started recording some statements on what was seen as reviving PEV cases. And former President Uhuru Kenyatta came out publicly and castigated Kinoti, saying that tumetoka huko, and he did not want to hear of anything of that sort. So by that time, Kinoti was making a decision just kufurahisha Uhuru, but knowing that was not it. Now, at EACC, people could still sit there and comfortably start bringing these files, believing that even without the authority of President, William Ruto would be very happy akisikia kwamba you guys are going after Jirongo or going after Murathe. Maybe they want to portray or they want to impress President William Ruto. And the politics of impression is not really something that is it. So that could also be a possibility that people are sitting somewhere and they want to make Uhuru, they want to impress the president that they are actually going after the big fish. Now, I see the opulence and publicity on this corruption in Jirongo, on this corruption stories. It makes it political. Murathe and Jirongo have been summoned. From the first information we've received, no one seems to know what they're going to answer. Maybe after it we will be told. But then you've put it has gone all the media news in, and you want people to consume and see it. When it goes that way, it turns political. It totally turns political, and when politics comes in, it always fights back. Now, Jirongo is William Ruto's closest friend, was Ruto's closest friend. I see Jirongo as a decoy. If you ask me, Jirongo is a decoy in this summon. The real person who is being summoned here is David Murathe. That is the real person who is being summoned here. Is David Murathe. This Jirongo is just to neutralize so that Jirongo, the headlines are coming. But I see the real person who Ruto is going after is Murathe. Lastly, this could also be diversionary tactics. I can tell you that much onslaught against SSU, doing research about extrajudicial killings and summoning the police, it seems not to be yielding any fruit, and they just want to divert the attention of the people by when you go after Murathe, the whole country is going to look at it in different lenses. The lenses are going to turn there. So for me, I'm not reading much into it until we look into that statement. But what generally, before you look at what is at the stake, Murathe is not above the law. He can face the law. And what do you take? What's your take on it? Are we going after scam campsites? Is it Uhuru revisit or purely fight against corruption?